as we move into 2026, we have entered a new era. Been talking about it for a while. We've closed the door on the past, the old models of self-sacrifice, following external authority, and things are really changing in a very big way for the better. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited you're here. I'm Sonia Choquette, and today we're going to continue to talk about empowering you, leading you to the fifth dimension, and connecting you with your guidance in the most immediate, effective, and remarkably life-changing way. So stay tuned, and later I'll bring in my guides. First, I want to talk about the reality that so many people are suddenly just surging with a sudden awakening of their inner guidance and an interest in it. It's part of this new era, and it's very exciting. And I've been asked a lot, why is this happening? I go my whole life, and all of a sudden, I now am starting to feel guidance. Well, it's happening for a number of reasons that have been building over the last 5 years, and I want you to comment whether this has been the case for you. The first is we are moving into internal authority versus following external authority. And so one of the ways in which that's happening is people are starting to quiet the noise. So what's the noise? It's the external world. It's the news. It's an overwhelm of social media, inundation of too much information. It's looking for or shopping around for approval or giving people the power to let their approval or disapproval make a big impact on you. All of that is dialing down. People are really burnt out from all of that. And besides, they've had enough experience of that they know this isn't going to help me. This isn't helping me. This isn't making my life more peaceful, calmer. So their inner resources are starting to align with their inner senses to say, you know what? I don't need to do this. I don't need to give my power away, and I'm not getting any reward if I do. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that people are starting to want and seek out more quiet. You know, again, it's a backlash to all the overwhelming, just tsunami waves of information that have been coming in and bombarding us with fear. People are getting fear phased out. They're just not being quite as reactive as it used to affect people, say, pre-COVID. You know, people have come to a point where, you know, I'd rather face whatever than be constantly making decisions or living in fear. Like our nervous systems can't take it. And again, this is part of the evolution that is happening in humanity. It's like, I'm not going to be fear driven. So has that happened to you? Have you reached a saturation point where fear is no longer just controlling your consciousness, where you're seeking out more quiet? Just leave me alone. I just want to be quiet. And that I'm just tired of letting everyone else's opinion have that much gravitas, that much pull in my life, that much influence. Because those are some of the major things that are changing, that just changing our connection to guides. Also, when you quiet the noise and you turn down the fear, you turn up the volume of your inner guidance, these inner system sensory awareness is turning on, and it is sharpening. So what might be a dull or kind of a vague feeling is getting real clear. Go there, do that, walk away. That's not good for you. Those directions are not coming in our head. They're like taking over so many people's bodies. And they are actually allowing that to have an impact. So has that happened to you? Have you felt that suddenly what might have been less clear to understand even as much as a year or two ago gets really clear? Is people are collectively, the vibration is collectively awakening. Our guides are beaming down wave after wave after wave of light on this planet, activating our consciousness, reactivating DNA that has been dormant, clearing imprints that say, don't trust yourself, be afraid, we're going to follow you, we're going to take over, we're going to protect you, when they haven't. There's a whole constellation of experiences and really forces in the universe that are helping us reclaim our divine nature. Also, have you found your heart opening? That before, where you were so quick to judge, or so quick to be disgusted by someone, or so quick to have an opinion, that suddenly there's just an element of compassion that it's like a breakthrough of maybe people are really struggling. And that even though a lot of them behave really badly, they must be hurt instead of just born awful. It's happening to a lot of people. Compassion they didn't feel before. Compassion they weren't seeking. But as the heart opens, a spontaneous consequence of that is elevated compassion. First for yourself, and if you've been working on self-love, you might find, especially in the last 2 or 3 weeks, a sudden compassion for people who historically really bothered you. Now, let's make the distinction between compassion and sympathy or enabling or codependency. For example, I have a really dear friend whose brother is hopelessly addicted and behaving hopelessly bad despite 2 interventions, a rehab that they bought for him where he walked out, endless conversations and support. He seems really bent on learning the hard way, not with the support of the family. She really struggled. Do I shut the door? Do I not respond? Do I continue to try to talk to him? All of a sudden, in the last maybe 10 days after 5 or 6 years of pure health, she said, I have a tremendous amount of compassion for him. I'm very sad and disappointed that he's choosing the things he's choosing, but I'm not going to let him drag me down any longer. My own intuition says that I'm not helping him. My own intuition says that I can help him better by not engaging, and do it in a loving but firm way. And that was radically different than the ocean of emotion she was swimming in before, of confusion, got to save him, got to help him. And I don't know anybody whose family doesn't have at least one person who's hyper challenging and has really struggled. And we all want and love to feel better or be better or behave better, but we can't. We need to respect the boundaries, and we need to respect the right of people to live their lives, but we don't have to go down with them. And that's another awakening and a new model of love and a new modeling that opens the door to intuition. The other thing is there is a cellular memory happening where we know instinctively, and have had too many intuitive experiences to deny that this is actually a natural part of us. We've had too many gut feelings, too many ahas, too many senses of, that's not good for me. I can just smell that's off, or it doesn't feel right, or something in my gut isn't working, or that just catches me in my throat. So we've had collectively so much intuitive engagement that it doesn't make sense to deny it anymore. So you can see how all of this is gathering to this force that we've been already introduced to in this new era, an age of intuition and inner guidance. It doesn't make sense anymore to say, I just believe in science and I don't believe in all that, because science believes in intuition now. Current science acknowledges that we have a conscious heart, conscious senses beyond the 5 we've been working with, and also every cell in our body is conscious. So we can't even revert to that old imprint or that old conditioning because it's not current. There's a lot of changes going on, but the most important of all of these is that you're returning to your divine nature, and you got to get used to it. It's like it's happening, but I don't know how to receive it. I'm not automatically just comfortable being so much more informed and aware. And that's understandable. So you want to recognize that if I've been told my whole life not to walk through that door because something terrible is going to happen to me, and then the door opens and I see sunshine and rainbows and unicorns, I'm going to be hesitant. So take it slow. Here's some tools in how to integrate your inner senses back into your life comfortably. 1, slow down. Real intuition isn't a fire drill. Take a breath, pause, go for a walk on it. 2, write down what you feel. Write it down, journal, because as you journal, more inner guidance may come. Your hand, your writing hand, mine is the left, but your writing hand is connected to your heart. So as you begin to express, more will come because the heart is the portal of your higher self. 3, stop the habit of allowing other people to have so much input on your inner guidance, whether as if they're the final authority. If something comes through and you are challenged to not listen to it, you can say, well, it's what I got, it works for me. I'm choosing this, it works for me. That's a very strong statement. This is my choice, it works for me. That way it's like, if you don't like it, okay, you do you. And this establishes a gentle boundary, but quite a clear one. Listening to my inner guidance. Stop feeling you have to explain yourself. You don't. Part of authority is I decide. I'm the one who is running and living my life, and certainly the one with the consequences of my life. So your opinion is your opinion, but it isn't going to override what I decide for myself. And then don't let it override. Now, if someone's input is actually worth listening to, your intuition will let you know. Secondly, and secondly, I'm like on fifthly, but nextly, it's a new word, discern between, is it intuition? Is it emotion? Is it willfulness? A lot of people say that my intuition says, I remember a woman that I was coaching said, my intuition says the man I met online is the one for me. And when I told her, I felt like there was a strong possibility she was being catfished. And she was being set up to give someone online that she had never met money and be taken advantage of. She was really, really, really upset with me. In fact, she said, I can't talk to you anymore. You really disappoint me. When in fact, she was being catfished. She was someone giving her the classic line of, I'm in the army, I've served my country, I'm a widow, I don't have anybody in my life. Really the sob story. Please save me, I'm a good man, but my money's caught up in the government, whatever. It's like you didn't really have to be intuitive to know this was suspicious, but she didn't want to hear it. And I said, but why are you here? If you are so sure, why are you here? Because you may have wanted to come for me to agree with you, but I have to just say the vibration's incongruent with what you're being told. So she definitely learned the hard way. And she was very angry for a while with me first for disrupting her fantasy. And I don't blame her. Everybody wants to feel like they found their prince, but that's also going with the illusion of outside authority is going to make my life work. Eventually, she came back around and said, the important thing is I didn't want to admit it, but I knew it too. And I said, that is the important thing. Not that I saw it, but that you saw it. What you see and sense and know to be true is what's trying to take care of you. So slow down, be honest, really consider, and then put in the notes what your higher self and guidance is saying. Some people are spontaneously channeling and it's freaking them out. Now, what's that? It's that your portal's opening so much that your divine support teams are coming through talking to you. They're not trying to control you. They're not taking over. They're cheerleading you. They're coaching you. They're championing you. And it's coming in as a strong force that overrides the voice of your ego. So when you start channeling, if that happens to you, and it doesn't have to be shake, rattle, and roll, write it down and consider it. You don't have to turn your power over to channels either. If it empowers you, if it gives you more autonomy, more sovereignty, more strength, then it is good to listen to. If it says, follow me instead of your heart, goodbye. That's not for me. That is riffraff. And there are some energies of riffraff around, and you can tell riffraff energy. My teacher Charlie taught me that riffraff was anything that made you turn your power over to others, even if it's a spirit guide, and follow guidance that goes against your moral compass. No divine guide would ever suggest anything like that. So I'm going to bring in my guides, Joachim and the emissaries of the third ray, who have a few small suggestions. They're not going to do a lot because they want you to keep connecting to yourself. But I will bring in, they come through, when I open my hand up, there's a transmission that comes through. Maybe you can feel it. Open your heart and just listen for a moment, and we'll see what they have to say. I am Joachim, emissary of the third ray, second octave of love. We, the emissaries, are so delighted, so honored to have your attention. Indeed, we have entered a new age of expansion and enlightenment. Your inner awareness mirrors your divine nature. To strengthen and begin to vibrate and resonate with this frequency, we ask that you clear your mind habits that bring in self-doubt and disturbance to the spirit. Be selective and quite discerning in what you especially listen to. You cannot hear and sense, receive within the cellular body through the heart portal what is of divine alignment if you are being distracted by the input of violence, negativity, threatening, vulgarity, which has come to be most commonly experienced through what is known as entertainment. Shut down and turn away these lower frequencies, and your inner guidance will immediately expand. We invite you to ask your divine support team to give your higher self the power to take over in your decisions. We are listening to the frequency of your hearts and can sense the availability, yet hesitation, questioning, and in some suspicion. We indeed are not asking you to surrender your power, your sovereignty, or being the ruler of your life. We are simply suggesting shifts and changes that will elevate and improve your connection to your spirit, your availability to divine guidance, which is forever being broadcast your way, and most importantly, for you to experience the love your Creator and all of the universe has for you. This alone will amplify your inner guidance and creativity in exponential ways. Believe instead of argue. Be quiet and listen instead of speak. Slow down. True guidance is felt in the body and moves to action. It is not in the mind that moves to reaction. We are so delighted to be of service, to support and mirror back to you your divine and most gorgeous nature. We are at your service. I am Joachim. We are the emissaries of the third ray, second octave of love. Just takes me a moment to get kind of calibrated back. I get kind of spaced out a bit for it's a very expanded energy. So take this information and let it settle in your heart. I think the biggest message is if you make a few choices to create a nice, quieter, calm, internal environment, you will naturally and quite spontaneously start activating your inner guidance or stabilize it if it's already activated. And for those of you who really have been waiting for this era, and really have truly been aware that these times are changing and our inner guidance is the key to our success, then I invite you to click the link below and sign up from the first of my 3 free webinars on activating the inner guidance and moving into the leader position of your life. It's a free webinar coming up focusing on quieting the noise. So if it's for you, you'll feel it. Don't get in your head about it. Just trust that impulse and how it pulls you forward, whether into personal direction, whether into learning how to be a guide for others as our world is under massive change and we need good guides. But this is our message for this week. If you are having these spontaneous experiences, affirm and stabilize them as your new normal by putting in the comments what you are experiencing. I love your comments. I read them. I learn from you. You're inspiring, and it's a way to witness to you the truth of your inner guidance being reliable. So thanks for tuning in. And if this was your first time, I really welcome you. And if it is of any benefit to you, please put the comments of what is happening in your life just to affirm your own experience. Subscribe and come back because we meet weekly, week after week with beautiful lessons and guidance as we move into this age of intuition, which I've been waiting for 50 years. And if you feel called to learn more about becoming a leader in the age of intuition and becoming an activator and someone to help others turn on their inner senses and empower them, then sign up for my free webinar on quieting the noise. You can do that by clicking the link below in the comments. All my love, everyone. I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.